September.
But Papariano, to be honest with you, I suffer for your hand. Though. It's just that I know quitters don't win, winners don't quit.
You do it. Now you enjoy pass. Now you enjoy
I suffer
pass.
in your hand. You will drop me. You will go.
You enjoy the most. If you know, no make you know. If you know how many beats I collect because of you. Anytime I'm in room. I
want to go, Mama. Drop me, shere.
You know, till today.
You're pushing it. Don't push.
Like,
you will push.
Like I'm fighting your battle. Some people will still feel like that. Even though it was the right thing that anybody should be doing, because it's the fact, right? But to be like, some people don't like it when the truth come out from some certain people. That even if she's correct, why must this truth come from her? That is the issue they have.
That was the issue. Because
when they hate somebody in just from Mohbad, no matter what comes from you, they are against it, even if that is the way forward. Because it is coming from you. Exactly. They stay away from it. And they destroyed everything right now.
Exactly.
If there's anybody to blame, Baba, Bukise, Guresi, Muyiwa, all these gangs.
Yeah. They all destroyed.
We also the red light.
Now they said they want to donate for public lawyer. When we gave them Bankole and Smith, they said, Aries lawyer. Did you see the lawyer from the Temu lawyer that they said went from this person's platform, Tenya Mulugo's platform to that one?
10 years campaigned for that initially, but I don't know, medicine after that. Just don't talk about.
No, I'm not talking about it. You see, even if any lawyer comes, it's going to be from a specific platform, but then they will not take at that universe platform. There is no lawyer they can contract right now that can be close.
You know what
happened?
What happened is
the
lawyer that they get to the inquest. What I just think that lawyer is for, get it clearly. The lawyer is there probably to just observe, just like everybody. So you get not participating.
So why pay 5 million for that?
The people will not know now. Wait, let me tell you something. Are you telling me
Tammy Jojo is doing that? Mojo is doing a good job.
That is why I'm telling you that. See, you know when illiterate are doing things until you get there, or one don't you checking, but let's make truth be truth. Or bantas come. That's why when you are correct, people don't like listening to you. Sometimes you are very, very correct, but because don't let it be like false. It's just the truth. Truth is easily perceived. Okay. So what I'm saying is this: the same thing I said even with Yomi Fabi. Okay, like when he's saying that he need a lawyer to protect some people, protect her like how again? Yomi is supposed to already have a lawyer. It's a foundation. All this why? I don't understand. Ko ye me money. Is it now that Yomi just want to get lawyer? I don't understand. I don't understand. That's on the side of Yomi. Now, when we come to the side of Tenny, though she spoke here the other day and I respect her effort, I don't want to fight against people, but we have to, for educational sake, we have to learn some things, right? Guys, Corona inquest, it's almost done. All right? It will be difficult for the Corona to approve any lawyer coming to join the Corona at this later part of the Corona. Substantial grants has already been covered. So it means the lawyer will not be able to apply it through the Corona to be there as a concerned party who is examining and cross-examining. And who do they even want to bring for cross-examination as it stands right now? Nobody. Everybody has been cross-examined. There's no new date. So bringing lawyer into Corona to do what? One. And so what the lawyer will only do, the lawyer will dress well, wear suit, come in and sit down just like when you send Arifa to the inquest. He will just sit down there and waited, just like how Arifa can ask questions, Moses can ask questions, Paparano can ask. So he too, he can just put hand up and ask questions. But he doesn't have that standing in the inquest. So you understand? He doesn't have that standing in the inquest. That is one. And now let's talk about the High Court or the Magistrate Court, which Yomi is also tending towards that the public needs a lawyer in the Magistrate Court, wherever Mohbad case is. And I ask myself, how is that going to work? Is the lawyer just going to sit in the court as an observer? Or the lawyer will apply to be a watching brief lawyer? The lawyer who can apply to be a watching brief lawyer, to the best of my knowledge, is a lawyer who has a local standing, who is either a victim of the case, or a complainant. That's what I read. I googled the other day. I mean, who has the right to apply for watching brief? Which lawyer can be a watch brief lawyer? If that be the case, who is the complainant in this case? And that's why I said there are so many things Yomi himself is not fully aware of when we started in this case. And that's why platform like ours like this, I think it's supposed to be here 24 hours, even sometimes to listen and put 1 + 1 together. Any of them who know how to do research, okay? You can't start from the middle and get everything. Though we may not know how to do it, you may know how to do better, but you need those little things from us. Those little things, you need it to use it to, to finalize your own stuff. Where I said that, I say Yomi was not aware that there is a complainant in this case. There are 2 complainants in this case. Police spelled that out clearly. Baba Mohbad and Wunmi are the complainant in this case. Officially, there was a conference we saw on the 19th before Mohbad was exhumed. The police made it clear that was the place where video captured Baba Mohbad, and he looked suspicious. When you see him, when they say they will exhume Mohbad, Baba Aish. In fact, anybody who watched that video, you will suspect Baba Mohbad. The moment they said they will exhume Mohbad, something was not just right with Mohbad's father. It was like something was not just right. Everybody started running up and down. And this family, they are also playing their own games. We just play it into their hands because of our good mind. If you watch that video, one day I'll bring that video back. You will see the moment the police said they were going to exhume Mohbad, and they said they were acting on the petition of the father of Mohbad and the wife, and also to some allegation that Mohbad has made on some certain individual when he was alive. Police never said they were acting because of the public. By their own law, and I don't know why it's like that, they said they have to be a complainant for them to take the case seriously. I don't know why it has to be like that. That there must be an official complainant of a victim. In other places like America, when people die, it's a duty of the law enforcement agency to come investigate if whether that person have a family or doesn't have a family. They will still do what they have to do and check everything, see whether the person was killed. Then actually they will do all these things. But yeah, it's just like if they see anybody die on the road, nobody own the person. They will just carry the person, go deposit them for morgue. You don't finish with that. They won't investigate. For them to investigate, they need a complainant. This is what I come to find. This is what I come to find in our own practice here. Which maybe in the future, I would like to go deep down into that process. to know why it's like that. How can a police spokesperson, Benjamin Hundeyin, I quote him, he came out to that phrase saying that if the family do not want, if the family does not want the police to investigate, police will not investigate.
The faulty system. The faulty system.
It's a system. So you get.
It's a system problem, yes, and it's faulty.
It's a systemic problem. It's a system.
Yes.
It's political. It's political. Somebody with a big voice had to. We have to review our Police Act. Police Act is a law that police operate on. And there's nothing anybody can do. Even go up, come down, as long as that law is, police will tell you that they are right. Though you will have common sense, your common sense will be telling you something is more correct than this. But because that is what is spelled out in black and white, police will follow what is spelled out, not what you think in your head is right. So, and all these things, when do we resolve? How do we resolve these things? Political. Will you guys sponsor me for 2027 election? Everybody, are you guys ready? So we can have this changed? Guys, are you ready for this big change?
Papa, permit me to just check in
it's
some
like I know
keywords.
this voice. Do you have you had a different account before?
Papa, why are you like this? Don't you forget things? Oh my God, why are you like this? Your brain is too sharp. Papa, please forget. I knew this guy. Oh my God. Yes, I had a previous account. Anyway.
What's the name of the account?
Tricks.
Tricks. I said it.
Yes. Okay. So, Papa, what I wanted to just add on was, I'll support you if you can reform INEC. That is number one. When I mean reform INEC, you make it digital and you remove INEC from the presidency. Let the presidency not be under the control of, let them not be influential. Let them not be able to,
but Trace,
choose who.
Now you are talking about federal government. If I have a federal power now, I'm just talking about being a governor. Yeah, right now in Lagos. To start with Lagos first, to make Lagos to become like.
So can't you see what is becoming? So for me, I'm not an advocate of what is going on now. I prefer a regional system of government. Really, I think
regional
if
system.
It was a regional system, you'll be a very fair and you'll be an elected government.
Regional system of government. Though everybody wants change. Once things are not going right, what is constant with human beings is change, right? Once you're going this direction and you notice it's not going, you want to change. Though even if the new direction doesn't make sense, you just want to change because where you are, you're not comfortable, right? But now, this regional, I'm also advocating for regional system of government. But the major problem of Africa is systemic, whether regional or not. Whether Nigeria or Oduduwa Republic, we have invested so much on culture and forget about some certain ideas that are uncultural. There are some good things outside our culture. We are so closed-minded that we are made the way we are. Though every human being is like that. But the difference is that some group of people have opened their heart to something new, and that is what brings them the little change. Look at every great society around the world today. You will always
Papa, can I interrupt you? Let's look at just the solution you brought. Burkina Faso. We're talking of Ibrahim Traoré, and this guy just came into power in Burkina Faso 2022. I see Yaya Toure. Sorry, I say Yaya Toure. Oh my God, football is entering my head. So I see him as a transformational leader. What does it mean to be a transformational?
Traoré?
Yeah, Traoré. Yeah, Traoré. The recent
Traoré.
Traore, sorry, I can't pronounce it.
Traore.
Traore.
Traore,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I see him as a transformational leader. What does it mean for you to be a transformational leader? It means you have.
No, sure. You can.
Let me just. Sorry,
think about
please. It means you're inspirational, you have vision, and you have change, and you have long-term goals and orientation for your people. That is what we want and what we're seeking and what we're lacking as in Nigeria, really.
It's the same problem. It's the same problem even in Burkina Faso. The same problem we are facing, everybody is facing. In fact, maybe Nigeria is even better than Burkina Faso and those countries.
But Papa, under how many years? Under 3 years, this guy has been able to transform his country to a security-centric government.
What is salary in Burkina Faso versus Nigeria? What is the GDP of Burkina Faso versus Lagos? Use Lagos to compare Burkina Faso. Which one is
how long has Nigeria had independence as compared to Nigeria?
No, you mean Burkina Faso and Nigeria?
Yeah.
No. I understand what you're saying. You are saying.
Let me just break down something. When you come,
I got you. Let's not drag it. You are saying he's just coming. Okay, he's the one bringing the transformation, and he's just there for 2-3 years now. So
he has just been there for 3 years.
Been there for long. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, if Lagos was that corrupt, okay, even somebody that just came there 2-3 years ago should be better than Lagos because it's that corrupt. If Nigeria was that corrupt, anybody like Gaddafi, like Libya, should have been heaven. As great as Libya was, Libya never had a greater GDP more than Nigeria in no time in their history. Not even half of Nigerian GDP. You don't know what you have until you get to the market space. Nigeria have the biggest market in Africa. And in West Africa.
Papa, what I just want to say before I just keep quiet so I listen to you further is, you see this Ibrahim Traore guy, under like less than 3 years, he has impacted his socio-economic, he has reformed his socio-economic country. And how has he done that? He targeted.
I don't think you want that. It is difficult. What you see them doing right now, all these things they are doing, all this young African country. If me be a leader, okay, I don't just think that is my way. I think the whole world should move towards diplomacy. Two adults are civilized enough, are good enough to sit down and genuinely discuss a way forward for their country. All right, it shouldn't be by force. When you bring in a military, though I don't have issues with a revolution, right, whereby military will come into power. Please wait. You're interfering. Please just let me flow with the show. Unless you want me to let you speak for another 1 hour. If you can do that, me, I'm running a show. Please understand that. Okay. So you can ask questions, you can chip in, but I don't want you to take over it from me. Otherwise, I will just lose everything, and it will not be nice. So now, this is the thing here. For my own form of leadership, I believe in genuine leadership. The solution that we are trying to create is a solution that we will all enjoy forever. That our kind who comes after us will celebrate and they will enjoy forever. So there should be some genuine conference, some genuine meeting between the people of that nation, supervised by some authorities, by somebody. Fine, a revolution can happen, okay, whereby some corrupt leaders can be revolved, either through a democratic election. But when democratic election becomes very difficult to get in good leader, because for example, in more democratic country right now that we see, it becomes very difficult to get away some bad leaders. It becomes very difficult because they have monopolized the system. It has become like more of a party thing. They already know the next person coming, and they put in laws in the place that will not be easy for a random person to come into that circle. You have to be part of them. You have to have been indoctrinated in their own way. So if that way is not moving the country forward, everybody's only going to be a slave to that way forever. So revolution comes in to correct the system that is used to bring to produce leadership, right? So when the revolution comes, there should be some genuineness from the revolution to put back governance in the hands of the people. I expected those military government to look for genuine people around the world. It is either you get it from people in your country. There are so many African Americans who want to return home, who have been crying Pan-Africanism, who just want a place to act. They don't even want the money. They don't even want the money. They just want to display their professionalism, right?
Okay, let me just interrupt you, Papa. Sorry. Do you think justice for Mohbad now is a revolution? Because see, it's going out of hands of people that we didn't. Why don't you think so?
Revolution, please.
You're part of the revolution.
No.
You're part of what the government didn't choose or what wasn't, written.
No. It's not. Right? It's not a revolution. A revolution has to be, when revolution from its word is secular. Okay, revolution, it has to be something that affects the whole nation first. Just for Mohbad did not even affect the whole Ikorodu. Let's make that clear. Just like every concern, just like George Floyd case was huge in America, and it was quickly attended to so that it doesn't become a chaos, right? That of Nigeria, there are so many cases, even Bamishe case, when Bamishe died, right, the BRT lady who was raped. She was raped and her head was broken and she was dumped in the street. People hear that. Everybody was campaigning. It went round everywhere with Bamishe people, but later on it went down. How does something become a revolution? When it affects everybody in that nation, and which they all insist that if we don't get this, nothing moves, nothing goes, nothing comes. Like, for example, NSAS. NSAS was a revolution. The people wanted it disbanded, and it was disbanded. If Nigerians today say that they want justice to know what came about, every part of Nigeria insists. Don't forget, NSAS was across Nigeria, even in the core north, everywhere. So it's a revolution. Revolution, everybody has to be part of it. But a case can just be maybe when some people are affected by it, and the government can still manage it. If it was something that is already a revolution, it will be natural in every part of Nigeria, okay, on ground, television, radio, they'll be talking about it because it's a trending topic. But Mohbad own is just...
Papa, do you agree that Mohbad's case is getting to a revolution, even if it's not?
It's not getting.
Because let me tell you something. Do you know that I'm not Yoruba? I'm not Yoruba. Yeah. I'm interested in Mohbad's case, and many people that are not Yoruba that I know that are my friends are also interested. And you can see the only person that has died down this case, like you said, let me not revert because I joined and reverted, is actually his own father. His own father and his own family. They are the people putting it down. It was the coming of people like you and people like Yomi that actually stimulated it. Because if we're going to follow Mohbad's family, we know they don't want justice. And, it has just like leveled down our, our struggle. I don't know the word to use.
Okay, I understand I understand that consistency in everything that is done, like brings success. Consistency, brings progress in whatever that is done. No disrespect. It is not only me. There are so many people who myself have looked up to and who have done greater things in justice for Mohbad, right? Who have been doing so well and who are still doing very, very well. In fact, without them, we wouldn't have gotten here today. A struggle like this, it is never one or two or three persons' effort. It is everyone's effort, because you'll be thinking that it's one or two. Believe me, if one or two or three other people are not there, even that one person that you're thinking is the one making it, he himself is getting encouraged by others that he's seeing. So people, it is a movement. In a movement, it takes everybody to make it move, right? So now that the movement is on, or when the movement was on, yes, Did the family of Mohbad jeopardized it? Yes. They jeopardized because they became selective of people they want to work with. So many people from different backgrounds, people in the north came, right? And they could have made this case bigger in the north. People in the, in the south here came. They could have made this case, very big in the south, in the west as well, right? And all of these things. But this family was very choosy, selective, push this one away, take this one, do this one, and they were wrong in their choice. All the people they have chosen so far, time has proven all of them to be corrupt in one way or the other. Time has proven even Muyiwa, his own brother, to be corrupt. Time. All right? It means they worked with the wrong people. So, and that's how they jeopardize everything. Because imagine if those people were the correct people. Imagine Muyiwa was the correct person.
Papa, don't even talk much. Do you know how I found out about you? Like, I listened to you one time and you were against Baba and the whole crowd that time. Hey, Baba, Emperor Baba. If not Baba, this justice will not be done. If not Baba, DNA will not be done. Baba is the only person. See, I was like, what's this guy saying? Oh, the fuck? If you go to YouTube, I was against you. I was like, Papriano, shit. What's this guy saying? And one day, I just decided to come to on YouTube, and I joined YouTube and I listened to you and I looked left, right, and I saw, okay, this Baba, even when Wumi did other things, Baba, that everything was, you can't even petition her. People that are trying to come to you, you can't. Then you're forming gang. I'm like, is this high school? Are you serious? Is this secondary school? Is it confrat thing we're doing? I thought this guy was about justice, this guy. Then I watched previous videos and I saw when Baba was saying, see my house, the one woman. Mohbad did not do anything for me and everything. I'm like, what? Then I saw his brother trying to become a celebrity of him. I saw his wife trying to, showcase herself too. I saw the mother too trying to showcase herself. I'm like, these people, man. What this guy, this Papriano is saying. I'm telling you, guy, I never liked you. But when I saw you spoke truth, you understand? I came, yes. I joined your platform and I saw the difference. Really,
it's okay.
I don't have to love you, but I saw, and they are everybody, the world can now see.
Yeah, you don't love me. Hey,
I love
you. Love in the Okay. So I was saying something then that I've not landed. Maybe my Pan-Africanist, okay? Maybe I'm gonna come there after just Mohbad. Maybe I'm gonna come back to Pan-Africanism. There are some knots there that needs to be loosened. I mean, that's just my feelings. So let me quickly round up what I was saying about Ibrahim Traore, right? I'm not against military government. There are some things that are just old-fashioned. Europe have done these military things thousands of years. They abandoned it. Asia has done it. They have abandoned it. If there's any country right now on earth that is still being governed by military, it's in Africa. Right, it's in Africa. You can't tell anybody a system of government that suits them. Sure. But don't forget that one of the worst systems that Papariano will support to govern any African country is military system of government. Because the way the African society is made is not how other societies are made. We are very plural in nature. There are so many cultures. There are so many different group of people that are here. So bringing one group of person to be exacting authority, just imagine you give, let's say, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu an absolute power, an unquestionable power over the whole tribes in Nigeria. That's military for you. That's military. And even over his own fellow military. He can command them. They can even be executed. They have their principles. They have this. They have that. When Nigeria went through military government, we will never get to military again. We will never get to military again. Revolution can come. Military can come into the affairs of things and put the country back into the right state. okay, and see to the process of diplomacy. I will not support a policeman or a uniform man, a military man to be wearing uniform and be going around the world. Are you the one that can fight best? Are you the one that has the baddest weapon on earth? It's showcase. That doesn't intimidate nobody. It only jeopardizes your country's relationship with other countries' relationship. As things stand, right? Every country is dealing diplomatically. If you want to be dealing with authority, then the markets, you will suffer from the market, because these blocks will just come together that, okay, anybody who deals with this country, you're an enemy to our block. You're an enemy to our block. Look at North Korea. The reason why North Korea is still surviving is because North Korea itself has a godfather. Has a godfather. In this world, right, it is difficult for you not to be under anybody. It's difficult. It is difficult. God that put leaders, right, is not mistake. God that put leader into place. Somebody will lead. Somebody will be the definition of the world. There have to be a hegemony. They have to be, whether I like it or not. If you became very powerful today, others must follow your guide. If others become very powerful, you have to follow their guide. Before they became very powerful, something changed. It is either there's a world war, and a new order is brought into perspective, right? If you think you are better, than the new system, show it right in your country. Americans did not just wake up in one day and begin to advocate for human rights, for being the director of peace. They practice it in their own country. And that is why today their country becomes open to so many people around the world. Is every other nation ready to accept human being? Are they ready to represent human being? Somebody have to represent human being. Maybe that is the will of God. So even
Papa,
if
can I ask you a question, please, briefly?
Please wait,
Sorry.
please wait. No, please
right.
wait. You may be doing bad, okay, because all in the name of democracy. I know how many atrocities American government have committed, okay? But still, they have done goods as well. They have resolved so many problems around the world. You come back to a place like Africa, where we have so many different tribes. Like now you have in Niger, you have in Burkina Faso, Guinea Conakry, where you have all this military, or Guinea-Bissau, where all these military guys are. There are other tribes there who may not be happy. They may not be happy with the other tribe that is there. How do they resolve this? But they'll be silent. All right? They have their land before country was made. What is Burkina Faso? Burkina Faso is a French-made. It's a French-made border. If you are a Burkina, there's nothing like Burkina-based Burkina Faso. It's not an identity. If you really want to be fair, you said you are fair. Then there are some people in that your nation who want their own independence. Would you give them independence? Just like Nigeria, there was no Nigerian identity. It's a foreign made, right? Somebody have to be bigger than somebody to make somebody. Look at America. Is America an identity? Was America an identity before? No. 5,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, there was no nation like America. There was no body called American, right? Somebody made them America. The guy, the Spanish philosopher that was touring the Amerigos, I mean, the name comes from Amerigo, from the name of the man, Amerigo, whatever, you see? So somebody have to give somebody a definition. How about Spain? Spain is not the name of a people, the Spaniard, not. You know, somebody created them. The Romans created them. They were slaves of the Romans for thousands of years. All their goods, they were working into the hands of the Romans. Do you understand that? So, in life, you have to show desperation. If you don't like the current power, you have to prove to Almighty God that you have what it takes to rule the world. You have to start to practice it from where you are. If Nigeria is tired of American hegemony, let Nigeria show within Nigeria that they can protect human rights, that they can be the best human being on earth, and let them start to behave to their Nigerian brother like that. Then the whole world will copy from Nigeria. The Almighty God will now ordain Nigeria as the new order of the whole world. Most of you condemning America, you are worse than America. The level of freedom of speech that exists in America don't even exist in most of all this country. You are like packed like this. You can't talk. Because within your government, you are worst, but you keep blaming foreign government. It is always a blame game all the time. And you are blaming foreign government for being responsible for your own problems. Who are the people leading you? Are they foreigners? Like now, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is he a foreigner? But they'll be telling me, no. He's in Nigeria, but somebody abroad is using his head, is turning his head. Eh? Okay, why can't you turn the head of French president? It's French president that is turning your head because you don't mean well. You and your cabinet, people around you don't mean well. Okay? Our problem is the root. It's from the root. It's a systemic problem. So all these things you guys are talking about, you want to bring in. Look at what is happening in Rwanda. Let me tell you how this political attacks works. Okay? They have Kagame, all right, who is trying his best to do something that may have ambition. Tribes are problems in Africa. Tribes are problem. Tribes have existed before the country. Many people in African country, they live as tribe. They do not live as a country. Country was not created in Africa. It's a Western Europe ideology because it was their colonial master that drew their border. How did you become France? How did you become Portugal? All these people were slaves of the Latinas, of the Romans. That this is a small city that started in a place called Latin and expanded. They conquered territory, they conquered different tribes, they eliminated some of those tribes, and they forced those ones to speak their language. It was at the point of trying to speak Latin. The bastardization of Latin is what brought in Pidgin Latin. What is Pidgin Latin? It's a language they call French today. The same way Pidgin English is a bastardization of English language. When English people were colonizing people who don't understand English, who made something out of English. French is a child language to Latin. The people in France, what they call the name, the Gaulois, they have their own dialect. They were eliminated of their own tribe. In fact, tribe was eliminated in Europe. It is only in Africa where we don't have these major wars. We don't have major wars in Africa. That's why you see our tribe. Even when we have all these empires in Africa, they didn't go after tribe. For example, imagine the Oyo Empire or the Benin Empire at the time, as strong as they are. Imagine all the territory under Oyo Empire or Benin Empire. Imagine the emperor of Benin, the Oba of Benin, have said that everybody must speak Edo language. I swear to Almighty God, till today, you will have all those other Asian, Ijo, all those small groups that are under Benin, you will not have them today. They will all speak Edo. That's what white man did in their country. The same thing Chinese did. They make sure that everybody speaks Mandarin. There's no language like Chinese. Mandarin is a language spoken in China. In Nigeria now, can we make everybody speak Hausa in Nigeria? Won't you call them tribalism? The way we are built, these people went through a lot. We can't go through their solution. How about Russians? If you pick the history of these countries one by one, and you look into what made them develop, you can't go through it. You cannot. They are brutal barbarians. When you hear barbarians, it's coming from these places, barbarians. People who give babies to
Papa, I disagree with you. Do you know, you as a black man, you existed even longer before these people. They were just more barbaric.
Something that you will benefit from. Stop talking about those things you have no record of. It's not about how long somebody have existed. It's what were you doing those time. If we talk about writing system,
Okay,
When did
Papa,
Africa start
agreed,
writing?
agreed. I agree with what you just said. Do you
I
know,
mean,
with what you said now, there'll be new world order, and at the end of the day, you end up speaking English.
why not? Because they proved themselves. You have to, while you're living in this earth, you see, somebody must be a protector of the earth, whether we like it or not. It's a struggle. And the ball, the position is open to anybody. Any country can try to prove that. But the test of time will tell. What if some strange force want to come attack planet Earth? Somebody must protect planet Earth from those strange forces. Somebody must be sent to go and fight on behalf of the whole planet Earth. So, that is where we are. I just think differently from how every other person thinks. If you want to live large, you have to go through the sacrifice. You have to pay the price. Do you know people who go through the moon? People who go into the ocean? When you are scared that there's mommy water under the ocean, no, there's mommy water, don't go there, there's mommy water, oh, there's mommy water. Oh. Others are taking those risks. Some are dying, they are not even returning. But they believe that there's a brighter future. And when that future comes, you are now jealous of that future they created. You are jealous because of your skin color. Come on now. Come on now. It's not about being skin color. It's about what you're ready to give in. What you give in is what you take. How about bridges? Look at Third Mainland Bridge. Ever since Third Mainland Bridge was, I think, around 1980s or 70 something, between 70 and 80s. Ever since Third Mainland Bridge was bridge. Tell me another very strong. I was on top of Third Mainland Bridge recently. Look at how fine, sweet it was still standing. Which other bridge have we built since the colonial left that is as strong as a Third Mainland Bridge?
Oh my God, Papa, I like you mentioning this. So, Papa, it reverts me to one thing. You see these colonial masters who colonized us, that's the British people, blah, 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 blah. When you look at their history, they were not distorted. When they came to Africa, they were distorted.
They were distorted. They were distorted more than we.
Sorry, let me just land. To my own understanding, I stand to be corrected. Anyways, to my own belief and my own understanding of history, they came to Africa, they turned everything upside down. They made our rulers slaves and eliminated them, and they made the slaves the kings. And that's why we have issues. And they couldn't do that in Asian countries like India and, China. Even if they thought they succeeded, they couldn't. That's why you can see like their whole generation prospering against us, because there's a system to things. And if you check, there was a logical, systematic organization to how we're doing things as Africans. We're not baboons, we're not illiterates. We had ancestors that were proper, but they killed our kings. They eliminated us. They eliminated the people, our
heads. This is a lie. This is the lies. Some people. This is the lies that some of our ancestors want us to be going by.
Okay, educate me.
Yes, all these things are just they are things. They are natural occurrences. Okay, even before the European came, have you asked yourself a question? How was the Africans living here? They were fighting each other as well.
We were very sustainable. We're living well with our environment.
I want to ask a question. Before the Europeans came, mention one country in Africa that you know before they came that your history told you existed in Africa.
I call that country unity. We are very unified.
No.
If we're not unified, we do not even know each other.
Okay,
we live in peace with our animals, with our plants.
Who was the president of that unity? Wait now, don't drag it.
Even the Europeans now are copying how we're living now.
Who was the leader of that unity? Who was the leader of that unity?
We do not need leadership. We had mutual respect for each other, even for animals and plants. Yeah.
Wow. Comment section. Do you agree with her? We do not have leaders. Which school were we going and what were we learning?
I did not say we did not have leaders, but they were not as aggressive. We did not even have weapons until the Westerners came. The Europeans came, and
guys, do you agree that we didn't have arrows? Guys, do you agree we didn't have weapons?
to fetch food for ourselves, not to eliminate each other in a very, brutal way. It wasn't that aggressive. Yeah. Please.
Oh, really?
Comment.
Are you aware?
Who knows?
Are you aware of the Kitikpara war?
So I have to be corrected. No, I don't know.
Are you aware of the Dahomey conquest? Are you aware of the Songhai Empire?
I know, but we're not aggressive beings. We did not conquer people and kill people and take over people's
Just pray we don't
life.
take back the hands of time to those days. It was brutal.
Amen.
It was brutal. You know why it was brutal? Have you, since Europeans came, have you heard of people practicing like this sort of human eating humans, cannibals, that used to happen down there in the East before? Isalangwa.
Like even them, the white people up to today, Illuminati, Masons, and all they are actually carnivores.
Are you at war with white people?
I'm not at war with white people. I'm at war with anybody that stunts the progression of my people and my race.
In this life, get yourself better. Okay, get yourself better. Get yourself free. A free person is somebody who uses their brain and see what is correct for themselves. And whatever you see correct, that is better that is better for you as a human being, you live that way. Most times here we don't tell ourselves the truth. There are so many unanswered questions on the continent of Africa, right? For example,
so Papa, you're telling me to adapt.
It's not to adapt. You compare what is better and you go for it. Yeah, what we do is this. Something is not better, but because it's coming from us, we have to take it. It's not good. It's not correct. The whole world, there has been some times where Europe themselves, the Europeans, were coming to Africa to search for what was good. They took those good things because they wanted to lead the world. They wanted to become better. They took those things, they went to upgrade it. They make it better than what was here, and then they became better. And now people are seeing those things. Instead, they are jealous of them. No, you should learn from them and get better than them if you want to. There's always a room of overtaking. There's a room to overtake. Learn from them, and that's why most Africans who go abroad, they excel. They learn, they get trained in that European way, and they became very competitive, and in fact, even more better than some Europeans there. That's how it should be. It's not that we should sit down here and not doing anything that shows for it. Look at how our government is behaving towards ordinary justice. Can this be done in the core Western states, where people will be sitting down here and be dragging, calling themselves for blah, blah, blah? We have a problem, okay, and that problem is inbuilt. Those problems are entailed with greediness, hate. And where is this hate coming from? It's coming from the differences in tribe, differences in religion, and the difference that has occurred among us. This is what divides Africa. Nigeria is not one. Cameroon is not one. For example, let me tell you about Cameroon. Okay, this is a very prosperous nation that has only known two presidents in its existence. It's a country where tribes dominate over other tribes. In fact, in places like Cameroon, you have where it's one of the only countries. That's why I learn about their history. Just like I learn about most countries' history when I used to do philosophy. It's how I came back Cameroon, neighboring countries, where you have the majority is being suffered. The majority Bamileke tribes are like they are under some certain victimizations, where other minority tribes gather together and say nobody from this tribe will ever become the president of this nation. So the moment you're running for an election, even if you have a good mind, because of your tribe where you come from, you'll be limited. And this doesn't happen in Western countries. They don't go by tribe. A French is a French. A French trying to become a French president is seen as a French. They have solved their identity problem. We are shy. We have not solved our identity problem. Identity problem is the biggest problem that can determine growth in any part of this world. What is your identity? Are you a proud Nigerian or you're a proud Yoruba man? Are you proud Yoruba or you are proud Nigerian? Can you die for Nigeria? Can you die for Yoruba? Which one can you stand for? If it takes to betray Nigeria just to get Yoruba, will you do that? If it takes you to betray Nigeria to get Biafra, will you do that? If it takes you to betray Nigeria to get Northern wherever, will you do that? Right? Identity problem is the biggest problem of the African continent, and in fact, it has not been resolved. Even Somali, look at Somali. As unique as they were, they are still fighting and dragging themselves. Look at Sudan, South Sudan, Northern Sudan. Africa has a systemic problem that only somebody who understands those problems, and it's a scientific problem. You have to research it. You have to sit down, take your documents, look, you have to register what you see. You have to go to different parts of Nigeria and take statistics, okay? Like, and then, let me say, for example, you can go to the north, act as a Yoruba person. You may know how to speak Hausa very well, right? But go there, know how to speak Yoruba, all right? And then act just to do your investigation and see how you'll be treated. And see what they will tell you about Yoruba. Act to be like them, right? And act as if you are against Yoruba and bring the conversation and see whether it strengthens their nerve. Whether, yes, they are ready. Whether if somebody comes and say, let's behead all the Yorubas in this place or all these people, and see whether it will be a joyful thing. But if you say,
Papa, I mentioned regional governments. What do you think about that? Do you think it will be the solution, regional government?
Yeah, the regional government I was talking about.
To tribalism.
Regional government is part of a solution. Okay, it's a good solution to solve tribalism, like where people with certain identity can govern themselves the way they want. Sure, that is a kind of solution. But anybody who feel like they're gonna be shortage, anybody who feels shortage are not gonna take such solution. So it's only gonna come to maybe revolution. Through diplomacy, it will be difficult. It will be difficult because one region may have more resources and more marketable resources, or in fact, a resources that, in hours, in seconds can bring money. While others, they still have to plant maybe their cassava, wait like 3 months. Somebody have resources that they can sell in the next minute and they keep bringing money. And you want to...
Okay, Papa, for example, now that we already had a centralized government and now we're trying to decentralize, and we see people, for example, northerners, elites that have oil wells in the south. When we now turn Nigeria to a regional government, do they have the capability? Are they going to be able to keep their oil wells?
Yeah, sure. That's if it resolves through diplomacy, like they will protect businesses. Every region will protect businesses of other people, just like how we protect like all these shares and foreign businesses in Nigeria. So their business will be protected by the government. But if it happen through a revolution, like fights and get whatever you can get, sorry.
So nothing for me. Me as a northerner from Plateau State, when Nigeria is a regional government, am I able to go to maybe Enugu to reside there?
Why
peacefully?
not? No. If it's a regional government, you're still in Nigeria. Okay, you're still just like the United Kingdom, right? We have the Northern Ireland, you have Wales, you have Scotland. The British can pretty much enter these countries, right?
Yes.
Exactly. So it's gonna be like something regional like that. Yes, why not?
So our head of state will not be called president. They'll be called what?
It is still the same country. It's still the same country.
So what will our head of state be called?
Like
Prime Minister, right?
Maybe Prime Minister.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Because
So and the Prime Minister will be majority of the votes from the regions, right? The one with the highest
we have
votes.
parliamentary system doing this. Yes, the Westminster system of government, which is the Prime Minister. So it will no longer be presidential to be Prime Minister and stuff like that. a minister.
So for me personally, I prefer it, Papa. I prefer it. I think.
Yeah, but yeah, that's why they said that when the British left, they left Nigeria with the best system of government. That's why I used to tell you that if you don't take time, if you allow sentiment to make you say because they say white people colonized us, one, colonization is problem. Okay, it was bad. Anywhere being colonized is bad. And there were so many rhetorics of blacks are lower. Okay, like because you have a skin color, black, dark skin color, you are maybe, you're not worthy. Sure, you understand. What makes
a bit of discrimination?
Yes, exactly, yes. Colonization brought discrimination, which is bad. Okay, which is bad. It is never a way. But it has always been like that everywhere. Most of these countries were colonized. Britain, UK was colonized. France was colonized. Spain was colonized. Portuguese was colonized. In fact, what's the name of the name of the Spaniard? Yes. If you check the origin of the name Spain, Spaniard, it means the land of the rabbit. Sure you get. So people like this, what they used to go hunt for rabbits, and when they gave them independence, because the name was already famous, they reserved the name. You understand? You don't grow because of your name. You grow because of your value. What do you put out? If it's Africa right now, somebody called maybe petty things that mean nothing. These are the things that we call problems that we deal with here. Because we understand spirituality differently, we understand religion differently. And not understanding those things is the reason why we are struggling with life. You see now, you see what just NEPA.
Papa, but I want to appreciate you. You're a very intelligent person. I want to transcend the issue of
good morning.
Please.
Religion has actually affected Africa in general. Like it's been a deterrent to our progress.
Let me tell you something, right? Everything in life, nothing in life is completely bad and nothing is completely good. How do you manage it is what makes the difference. We can have all the religions and still be better. The problem is, how do we manage things? If we have problem of management right from the beginning, it will affect us wherever we go. Sure you understand? Sure you get? So the problem we are having, it's a human problem. Like me, I like to deal with human beings. So I think I'm in that position where people like me, I think when it comes to dealing with people, I think I can be very fair. If I see somebody have more resources, I don't have, right? Maybe I'm going to negotiate fairly with them, but I will not exert my authority over them. Like now in Nigeria right now, it will be difficult for Nigeria to be divided because some part of Nigeria will feel like the South has more resources that will be used to, to cover all our poor people. So if we are divided right now, we can't survive, all right? So talking about dividing Nigeria is an existential threat. It is a threat to eliminate our life. So we will fight to defend Nigeria. And when I say British left Nigeria with the best system, ask any political analyst, all right, or any political commentary about governance. And the same thing happened with most African countries. They were given a system that was better. But the greediness, the fight that was existing between the people, right, make them to turn everything around to their own favor, to the favor of one tribe or to the favor of one religion. They begin to add their own substance, they destroy it. When British gave Nigeria, like all this northern dominance didn't exist. Everybody was doing their thing, everybody was managing themselves until the people themselves start feeling like, how can I be? Look at, even before Nigeria became Nigeria, look at the rhetorics of Sadana of Sokoto. What was that his name? Sadana of Sokoto at the time, about the Igbos. Look at what he said, and what were the Igbo two doing to him that he has to say so? So there's this acceptance problem, right? Identity problem is the biggest problem in the African continent. If you cannot resolve identity problem, you can only manage it, but in the long run, you cannot prevent what it may lead to. You can't prevent it. That is war. When there's so much differences between people, one day they will end up crossing each other out. Like what you see happen in Rwanda at the time. All those tribes, what's the name? The Hushagi, whatever.
Hutsu and Hutsi,
exactly.
yeah.
The Kutshi and the Hutu, exactly. They cross themselves out. Right now, in Rwanda, one of the solutions to that is that let nobody identify themselves as Igbo Yoruba and Igbo again. Everybody must bear the nation name. Anybody ask you whether you're Yoruba, you're Igbo, you're Hausa, it's a crime. The person can go to jail for that. I'm telling you that in Rwanda, they don't want anybody to be identified as tribe again, identified as a Rwandan. You see, that's a nationalism. Most Europeans are nationalists, and that is what you see Adolf Hitler fought for. Like, he's a German nationalist. German first before any other tribe. Everybody here must be German. It has to be German. The Europeans did that because they know that growing up in a plural society will cause so many betrayal. In fact, they even felt betrayed by the Jews at the time. You see, he had issues with the Jewish, Adolf Hitler, you know. So the same thing, if you come to the African settings here, they can be betrayed. Nigeria can be betrayed by any tribe because not every tribe in Nigeria want to be Nigerian. And they are being forced to be there. All right? So if they see somebody coming to say, okay, I'll give you this amount of money, betray your fellow Nigerian. They will betray Nigeria because Nigeria itself doesn't care about them. Right? And they feel entrapped. Why can't Nigeria solve the problem of the people that are under itself? No, because they want to, one tribe want to dominate the other. So people like that, they will end up fighting war if they have little chance. If that little group that want to go today, you deny them. Technology is growing. A time will come, maybe little pen, biro like this will become a very deadly weapon. Right? Maybe then all of those tribes, they will go and buy that weapon. They will fight for their life. They don't want, because from generation to generation, they have been saying they don't want to be. They don't feel like they are safe there. Nothing is giving them safety, and nothing is done about it. Nothing is done. Oppression daily. They will be fed up. You see, Africa has the biggest problem within itself. They keep blaming foreigners. People like Europeans, right? People like Europeans, I think if Europe, aside from the degradation, the discrimination, had they been the Europeans has colonized Africa, right? The same way they were colonized, I think that would have been better. But I can understand the difference. The difference between Europeans and Africans were human. It's human nature. Human nature is discriminatory. Human nature is, you have to control human nature. If you don't control human nature, human have to make new laws to be suitable for human. Human cannot just live by the natural nature of human being. What is the natural nature of humans? That's the animal-like nature. For example, in the jungle, the stronger animal, okay, can hit the weakest animal. No respect, nothing. There's no order.
So, Maslow's law.
Yes.
Of pyramid.
Maslow's law. There's no order in the jungle. Okay? Whoever that is the strongest, whoever that is the fittest survives the most. Right? This is how human nature is. So human have lived in that dispensation. Then they moved to become better. All right? So, with the Europeans, there was no color problem. There was no this dark and white. I think it would have been easy to integrate because there would have been intermarriage between Africans and Europeans. Like, after all, skin color is the same, so they would have intermarried, and the idea.
Papa, I think there was, but the problem with the Europeans is scarcity of resources. That's why they came to Africa.
No, there was not intermarriage. They
were dying.
No.
There was no ice, much, and the weather was against them.
No. There was no much.
I stand to be corrected.
There was no. All of those things are just part of. They are not generic. Europeans are not like they are all not. Okay, all Europeans are not allergic to African weather. No, they can survive the African weather. In fact, some of them even have the hottest climate condition.
No, I meant their weather chased them because their weather made it very scarce for them. They didn't have all the resource, and when they discovered Africa, they colonized Africa because of our resources. They ran away.
No. I won't accept that as a reason. Honestly speaking, if we're in philosophy class and you understand history, I will not. Before Europeans coming to Africa in the maybe 14th century, in the 14th century, they have always lived. Okay, all that time Jesus Christ was living on earth. All right, before Jesus Christ lived, other people have been living. They were surviving on their own. All right, but the problem with human being is this: Europeans are human beings. The problem with human beings is this: once a human being feels like, okay, the other human being has more resources and don't even know how to use it, and they know how to use it. Okay, human being trick human being. The one that doesn't have much, we go and trick the one that have much, get it, and then subject that one into slavery. It happens. Like in Nigeria right now, ask yourself, if Europeans are bad for taking African resources, are the tribes of Nigeria not taking over one resources from the other? Do you think Igbo and Hausa, they are brothers and sisters? Is Fulani and Igbo brothers and sisters? Come on now, skin color doesn't make you one. People have lived differently. Hausa and Fulani, they never live in the same society with the Igbos. They think differently. They are not one. Okay? All these ones we are saying Africa was one. Africa was one how? What language was Africa?
So I talked about scarcity. The Fulani. Okay, yes, sir. Please.
Africa was speaking one language if they were one. What language? What government?
Good morning. Good morning.
Where were they one?
Good morning, Papayano. Good morning, everyone. You see, this African partition started in. That African partition started with.
Sir, can you increase your volume, please?
It's very low. I don't know why.
Wow. Can you hear me now?
Yes, better.
Yeah. You see, the African partition started with Van
Bismarck.
Yeah, Otto in 1884, 1885. Thank you, Paparano. You see, when the Europeans moved into Africa, and then it wasn't because they were suffering. It wasn't because they had issues. It was because they were at war. Number one, they were at war. And they felt like, okay, come guys, we can't be fighting each other. There is this barren land that we can go. Let us have this. So they felt like, okay, let us not fight each other over this land. Let us just partition it. Let us just let us just give it to ourselves and have a peace within ourselves. And that was how it started. Papayano. That is the genesis problem of that is the problem Africa.
I am aware
that was
of that.
The genesis.
That's not the genesis. I'm fully much aware of that.
Papayano,
before 1884, before the partitioning, there have always been like Europeans in Africa. I hope you know so, right? Of
course, yeah.
Yes, they've been there. There've been colonization that's happened in the 15th century, 14th century.
Yes, and yes. Again, even before the 15th century.
If you're talking about colonization. If you're talking about white skin, colonizing black skin, that should be coming from the 7th century, the Islamic era, the Sahara slave trade.
Yeah.
Not transatlantic, which was recent.
Trans-Sahara, I understand what you're talking about.
So that one is still white people too, like or Asians coming, to convert people. So it is a problem. It is not about. It is how the thing is why Africa was not well structured. They had a better structure than Africa. That's why they were able to penetrate.
I disagree, Papayano. I disagree with that. You see,
for example, look at the weapons. The weapons difference. What weapon were using? What weapon were they using?
Thank you, Papayano.
They were more sophisticated.
They were more sophisticated, right? But don't forget too that there was internal sabotage with Africans.
There's internal sabotage everywhere, even within the Europeans. Everywhere in the world is a human. That's not a problem. It's a general human thing. Anybody can. Even Jesus Christ was betrayed, right? Was sabotaged, right?
Yes. So if you put three factors together that turned Africa to what it is today, which one will you say is the strongest? Now, number one is the slave trade. Which is very important. The slave trade that brought them in, Now,
And
the self-sabotage.
If you want to blame anybody for slave trade, the first people to blame are the Arabs, not the Europeans.
Papayano, okay.
Because they created the path, the ways, the routes that some people like the Zanzibar. If you know about trans-Sahara slave trade, you won't talk about transatlantic.
No, Papayano, we are talking about the one that gave Africa the status, the status that we have now. Also this trans.
But that one is the better. That one is the one that make you better now. That one made you better.
Made us better.
You should be thankful. Yes,
made
that
us
one made you better.
Oh yeah. How has it made us better?
Okay. Now
that resulted
in the kind of democracy we have.
That resulted in the kind of democracy we have. Don't forget
no. That is even the best. It's better than what we have. Let me put it this to you. Okay. Now, let's take a look at Nigeria alone. I can do this for Ghana, for the Littorias and South Africans come down to Ethiopia. Okay, Asia as well. Putting Nigeria, let's take Nigeria as a case study, right? The way Nigeria was before 1884, before the partition, or before the Europeans. If you look at the way Nigeria was Nigeria one? Was there even Nigeria before Nigeria? Who said that people from this place to this place, you're hereby called Nigeria?
Papayano, if there were war in Nigeria before the advent of the Europeans or before the advent of the foreigners, it means that there were trans trade within them. They were having
before
war.
Europeans,
don't let us. This is history.
Wait. Before Europeans, there have been wars among African tribes, conquering of territory and taking of slaves. Those things existed here in Nigeria. That's why I'm telling you that if you go before Nigeria was created, we're not one. Before Nigeria was created, like Hausa is on their own, Yoruba is on their own. They don't speak the same language. Okay, we don't have any trace of them like that in Yoruba land. How many trace of Igbo people do we have in Yoruba land before the Europeans? Without Europeans, how do we even get to know the Igbo people? How do the Igbo people get to know the Yorubas? It's because wait. I want to ask something. We were individual by tribe. We were existing by kingdom. This little kingdom, okay? This little kingdom, maybe 5 kilometers square, one kingdom. The other kingdom, maybe 20 kilometers square, right? Hausa kingdom, Igbo kingdom, Yoruba kingdom. Then one power more powerful than all of us came and said, okay, like you guys are divided because we're divided. That all of you be one, be under one umbrella. The person united us, not divided us. You understand? The Europeans, because without the Europeans, Igbos were on their own, right? Is that correct? Igbos were not under the Yorubas. They were not under the Yoruba government, right?
No.
Right?
Yeah, they were not under the Yoruba
government. Neither was the Fulani under the Igbo. They were all on their own. So now that they became under one government, is that not unity?
But listen, Papayano, is the unity serving the general purpose of Nigeria now?
Then that is our own problem. Then we have, that is now our own management problem. We have to now manage it.
Are you not looking at it?
It is not colonial problem any longer. Colonial has done its own bit. Things that we could not do together. In fact, most of those colonial countries, it was by themselves. They were able to conquer their neighbor, swallow their land, take their wives, take their women, take their children, converted them into their own language, made them part of them. That's brutal. Right? That's brutal. There are some countries today that you see them speaking Arabic that were never Arabs. Their own language. There was a time, there was this, I don't want to mention the country because I don't want to seem discriminatory. Okay? These are things that happen whereby you speak a different language from the emperor's language, your tongue will be cut. They went through harshness to eliminate tribe. They eliminated tribe in those countries and leave only one tribe so that there will not be betrayal. There will not be so much hatred and tribe problem because every tribe lack their identity. So the only way is to take out that identity and give them nationalism. Europeans are called nationalists. In Africa, we are not nationalists. In Europe, somebody can come, I am my country, I am a French. But in Nigeria, how many Nigerians say, I'm a Nigerian? They are Yoruba, they are Igbo, they are Hausa. They don't know the substance of being Nigeria. Maybe, let's say Adibi Pidgin English was the official language in Nigeria, and it was banned. Like language like Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo was banned to be spoken in public at home, anywhere, for like 100 years. Now you have given people a Nigerian identity. They'll be speaking Pidgin. And they'll be one people. Their generation will be one people. It will be hard. Some will die. Do you know what it means? As at 1472, French was not the official language of France. It was real torture. What the Europeans went through, I pray Africa don't go through it. You cannot go through it. They went through big, bad, barbaric lifestyle. What makes them peaceful today didn't make them peaceful in the past. How about Greece? How about Persia? Go into those people's history and check it. You think it is only Africa that has many tribes? In fact, Africa has sub-tribes compared to Asia. We have currently about 3,500 and something tribes, if I'm not mistaken, about 3,500 plus tribes that still exist. But in those countries, they eliminated most of those tribes. They will take their women, take their children as small as they are. They will teach them the national language. You are your country. You are not your tribe. And those kids grow up to become nationalists. My country first. I am my country. But in Africa, we are not our country.
Dubai does it. Papa, I say Dubai still does it. Like all
those are new countries. Anyway, those ones are new countries. I'm talking about.
Papa, can I ask you a question? But the truth is, I agree. For the sake of records, I agree totally with what you're saying because I am a nationalist myself. I'm a patriotic citizen.
It is difficult to be an African and be a nationalist. It's difficult.
Let us even be.
You know why it's difficult? One, you promote your culture, you promote your language. You don't have an identity of that nationalism. It's just from out. When you get to seriousness, you will go back to where you belong.
But this is a question I want to ask you, Papariano. The Europeans, as you see them, they have evolved to now have a language. Let's say the United Kingdom people now. Of course, the Brits they speak a language which is
use French for example. As at 1472, there were many tribes. People were committing suicide. That instead of them to speak a bastardized language, they will instead hide themselves in France. Because bastardized language, Latin was a colonial language that came upon their country. All right, they were speaking their own dialect before they were colonized. Then, when the colonial left, the bastardized language was like the unity language, like Pidgin English, was what everybody can easily use. So somebody came and said, we will make this one official. Everybody shall be speaking this. Every school shall be using this as a means of instruction. Then people felt bad that, it means you're taking away our identity. They fought for it. But they were eliminated. And then that rule stands. Then French became official. You can Google, anybody who can want to Google, please Google. When did French become official language of France? You will see, it's not far.
You're right, Papariano.
Did you confirm that?
I've heard
just Google. When did French become official language of France? So it doesn't mean the people are France. Because they said they are French, doesn't mean they are French. They are not French. They are people who were given an identity, who speak different languages, the Golite, the Gaulois language, the Celtic language, and all those different languages. It's been eliminated. But that solution, if you bring it to Africa today, they will see like a devil. They will say, you want to come and stop me from speaking Yoruba. They go fight you. Now war.
So
Because it's an existential threat.
Papayano, the people.
Not because you want to build a country, you want to eliminate what they stood for.
Papayano, let us
but it's for a brighter future. It's not because of because they will fight themselves and eliminate themselves, poison themselves if somebody don't come between in the future.
The people are not get to take in another culture. They are not get not to live their culture. Now, what is the way forward for Nigeria? Now, we have sub-ethnic groups, and we have major ethnic groups, which are Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, and others. These people can't let go of their language, Papayano, we know. But now we want to still foster nationalism in the people for the sake of our children coming. How can any government, serious government, go about this, knowing fully well that you can't force these people to let go of their language?
One better way to address this different tribes issue, I think, is just to federate, the states, just like one of the system is American practicing, to give every state power, autonomy. One, you can go, if you go regional will still be problematic because it will affect them in the north. Like, how do you want to make north regional? To be difficult as well.
Papa, can I speak for myself? I'm a northerner. I grew up, I'm not Hausa, I have my language, I can't speak my language. So what are you guys saying?
But you are
I grew up learning Hausa and English.
But you have no choice.
I can't speak my main language.
Because
so what are you guys saying? So we're actually moving towards that federalism and unity.
In the time of Ottoman Danfodio, there were 3 languages in the north: Hausa, Fulani, and Arabic.
But they are majority. When you come, like when you go to Jos, when you go to Kaduna, when you go to Gombe, when you go to Adamawa, it's more of languages than Hausa Fulani. Nobody speaks just Hausa Fulani.
They still even have some
other languages. So that's what I'm saying.
You have to
when you guys...
Papayano,
when you guys
Hausa
say
languages that are even deeper than the Hausa language. I don't know. I stand to be corrected here. There is this language from, I think it's Maiduguri. I have a friend from
Sokoto, said, not Maiduguri.
Maybe, there is a language.
Their accent is very deep. When they speak the Hausa, you don't even understand the Hausa. It's Sokoto.
Thank you. Because they have their language, they'll be speaking to themselves, and another Hausa people will be saying, I can't hear what you guys are saying.
Is it a variant? Every language, please wait, let's make something clear. Every language has a variation. Should get. If it's variation, fine, it's still within the language. But if it's a completely different language that no single word can be understood, no single word, then it's a different language. If at least 1 or 2 or 3, for example, Igbo and Yoruba, these are completely 2 different languages. The same thing with Yoruba and Hausa.
The variation, because we can understand it, but we have difficulty understanding. That's Sokoto language. They have a deep accent. It's like English, when you go, that Scottish accent versus normal English.
It's the same language now. Yeah. That's just variation.
It's the same language. Just variation. What I'm saying is,
they can communicate.
I have my language. I can't speak my language, but I can speak Hausa.
So do you
North is the most diverse. Northern Nigeria is the most diverse.
And I'm a Gen Z, so
it's the most diverse region in Nigeria.
Something.
Northern Nigeria has the most tribe in Nigeria.
Any government that wants to unite Nigeria to say Nigeria should become Nigeria.
You're right, Papa. Northern Nigeria has the most
no ethnic
tribes.
group should fight for going or parting away from Nigeria anymore. Would take that serious, that let us have a national language that would be inculcated into our constitution and would not be so be maybe English language, can be pidgin.
One of the way for Nigeria is still better. One of the way, right? If Nigeria can nationalize pidgin English, it will be a language of instruction in every schools. That will unite Nigeria. That will, in 100 years from now, that will clear identity. That will clear Yoruba. But I don't know. Does the Nigerians think that they have a future together? Politicians matter. So you understand? They may just want to cheat each other. They may feel like, I don't like Yoruba, I don't like Igbos. In the future, I don't want to be with them. And so they will just be using them for the moment. Like, they don't have, if they have a future together, they will make a plan. We are just living in a nation, not that we are not growing, we are not identified. You
We
know,
don't
we
have
are
a
just
government
living
that
like
is
in a
thinking
country.
of 100 years to come. 100 years to come. That okay, we know we will not gain this. This is not for us to gain, but let us put this ball rolling. But in 100 years to come, these people would allude us that no, our
I was
forefathers
having this
did
mindset
this.
of like, you know, some certain hate in me or whatever. But when I went through European and Asiatic history, I learned about the Mongols, I learned about the Persians, the Ottoman, Romans, and all of them. In fact, all these the descendant of the Russians, what they call themselves. Russians descended from that's Kitty. So all of their
Are you
history,
talking about
like
the Vikings? Are you talking about the Vikings?
no, Vikings,
Russia.
no, those ones are Scandinavians.
Hmm.
The Netherlands now, all those.
Talking about the Soviets,
Not Soviet, not
Union,
Soviet. Let me see.
the Mongolians, etc. Kazakhstan's.
Slavic. I'm talking about Slavic. Slavic.
Oh, Slav.
The Russian, the Ukrainians, Belarusians, there's a Slavic descendant. Just like how the English are Germans descendant. Anglo-Sax. But they became mixed. You know, they came, they intermarrying. In fact, the initial people that had Britain, those guys were foreigners took over their land.
Well, that's the only pushback we should be.
That's why I said
happy that our forefathers
the day you study those countries' history compared to Africa, Africa hasn't even gone through maybe 1/3 of what those countries went through. If you hear
because our
barbarians,
forefathers pushed back.
barbarians.
Our forefathers pushed back. They pushed back for them to own our land. Those people were on the hunt to colonize, take our land, maim and all.
Let me see what I see wrong with colonization was good, right? But what is wrong with colonization is this. What is wrong with colonization is a discrimination that diminish black. You understand? But now look at it. When we talk about nationality and identity problem, right? If you look at the black Americans, because I don't tell this to them because before we do fight a lot. My views are very extreme. We fight, they come, we shout Pan-Africanism. Maybe later you see me in those live stream again. They are so emotional. I will find you wherever, goddamn fucking man, hey bro, shut up, forget about it. And later we'll resolve
those
it.
guys are following.
Yeah, the black Americans, let me give you a good distinction. The black Americans you see today, the people they call the Akata, the black Americans you see today, they are exactly the same way the French are, the English are, the Portuguese are, the Romanians are. I will tell you how they are. The people they call the French, they don't have a culture. The people they call the English, they don't have a culture. The people they call the Spaniards don't have a culture. Same thing with the Portuguese. The people they call the black Americans don't have a culture. The people they call the black Americans, they used to have a culture. Their culture was taken away from them. Their language was taken away from them. And a new language of the nation, the nationalist language, was used to train them. They became like that. How many African Americans can still speak Yoruba unless they marry to Yoruba? Black Americans you see today, if you go
even
back,
Caribbean slaves,
please wait,
you can see the Pato.
Yeah. If you go back to the 3,000 years, all those black Americans you see, they have their own distinct languages. If you go back 3,000 years from today, there is no France, there is no UK, there is no Portuguese. How did they become French? How did they become Portuguese? People must understand this. And I've been in a debate with a French guy where he was arguing. I had to pin him down I have to mention that. At the end of the day, we came to the agreement that French is not an identity. It's a given identity. It's a colonial thing. The same way Nigerian is not an identity. Fine, somebody may take it as an identity. Yes. But anybody who understands history will say that, come, I'm Yoruba. I used to be Yoruba before I became Nigeria. There's not like Nigeria. Just the name of a country and I'm using their passport. The same like French. There's nothing like French. There are so many tribes that existed then. They were colonized by the Roman Empire from a place called Latin in Italy. In fact, even in Italy, there were so many languages in Italy. So what happened is that the difference between the Europeans and Africa is what I'm telling you guys now. In Europe, it was out of greediness. The greediness of mankind is what shapes the world. So what happened in Europe then was a little kingdom just wake up and ambush their neighbors. When they ambush them, they take their goods, they take their wives, they impregnate them, they marry them, they subject them. And they make them to speak their language. But in Africa also subjects their neighbor. But when Africa capture you, they make you to work. You work, and sometimes they let you go. Sometimes they even kill you. Okay? But it was not in their interests to increase their identity. In Europe, they believe that increasing their identity, making you speak their language, is controlling you, is to be able to reach out, to make everybody unique. Everything's done by mistake, but their mistake leads to something they are benefiting from. Though it was brutal, like here in Nigeria, when we conquer people, it is either we have our people move down there, like when Yoruba, conquer Dahomey. They have some Yorubas, they moved to Dahomey, and they are still there today, some of them, right? Some of them down to Ashanti in Ghana, they still trace themselves down there. They got there through war, all right? They could not come back. They have to marry there, live there, and became part of there. So now, the thing is this, in Africa here, once they conquer your land, conquer you, they don't know what to do with the people. They use them for farming, and sometimes they kill them. But in Europe, once they conquer them, they train you, they make you to become part of their soldier. They make you to dress like them. They now use you to fight others. Can you see the difference? And that is what they did to when they get to Africa. Even when Europeans came to Africa, they used Yorubas, train Yoruba, make Yoruba speak English. Then use an English Yoruba to fight against. I don't know if you guys get the trend.
Yeah, so they brainwash you. When they conquer you, they brainwash you to,
yes. So now,
to what do you call it, accept their culture and their language.
I'm in Europe, yeah. So what the Latin did, what the people call Latin, it's a tribe. Okay? There were so many tribes in Italy. You can check that old map. There were so many tribes. And this as like 300 BC, 150 BC before Christ. Check the map there was no Italy at the time. Italy is a name given. Nobody is called Italian. Latina, fine, you can say Latina, because Latin came to colonize all of them. It doesn't mean they were all Latins. They were not all Latin. For example, in Nigeria, we are all not Yoruba. But if Yoruba wake up, Adibi, before the Europeans came, Adibi Yoruba had colonized the whole people under Nigeria today and flogged them, forced them, if they speak different language, cut their tongue. And the ones who want to be loyal, they will now begin to learn new language. Baba mi, ori ef baje, olori buruku, ma shofokuni, ofolomi efoshe, wa shofuni. They can learn that. But when they learn it, they will bastardize it. It will look like a bastard language.
Pidgin.
Please just wait. Not the cultural one, which is sweet. Okay? But one thing for sure is that As long as they are speaking it over time, it will come. The whole country will understand it, how to speak it. But the way they speak it will be coming with different accent, and they will forget their own language over time. That's what happened in Italy today. Even Italy, as I'm speaking to you today, you see that their language is varies. When you travel to a different part of Italy, it varies. It's the same Italian, but anyone of you who live in Italy, you will know what I'm talking about. It was all a colonial thing. So it started from Latin. Latin colonized that region, Italy, then advanced to the other neighbor. There was nothing like French then. No. Human beings were living in small groups. Like people who speak the same language. They are like maybe 1 kilometer, they live there. That is their border. They live there. Sometimes they are under rocks. Like it's a community. People under one rock. There was not like a system of government then. You know, people started like that. Then later on, through brutality, some people, the idea of empire, like some people want to be leaders of other leaders. Like they know that people are living small, you know, small kingdoms. While somebody felt like, why don't I just have everything for myself? I want the whole world. I want the whole world in my arms. And they start fighting to get the whole world in their hands. Horses are going, swords are going. They want everything. And they will brutalize anybody to get it. You know, so everybody was increasing their identity. So Latin conquered the Gaulais people in France, who was speaking the Gaulais language. In French, they call them les Gaulois, right? They were the majority. In fact, they were the aboriginal of that place called France today. So the Germans also mixed with them. So because Germans were also fighting them all those times, Germans mixed with them, married them. The Latin conquered them. So, but the good thing about Latin is that Latin brought its language to the place called France today, and made it an instructive language. That is, the churches made the language of the church. Latin converted those people to Christian first. So Christian was one of the tools used to convert you into the family, into the kingdom, into the empire. Like we are Christian, okay? Like if you become a Christian, your life will be, you give your life to Christ and you'll be following the rules. Who made the rules? Who made the rules? Those rules are coming from one culture, from one people, from one people's lifestyle. They want their lifestyle to be applicable to other people's lifestyle. Truly, some people's lifestyle are barbaric. Humans eat human beings in different parts of the world. Europe, Africa, Asia. Just like some animals, they eat the dead body of another animal. You can see a lion eating lion, dead body. You can see a bear doing same, right? Some animals, so some human beings do that. Some of them is for pride. Some of them, they said, is to increase their level in spirituality. Human being comes with different fantasy. Human beings were not perfect in the past. They were never perfect in the past. They did so many things under trial and error. But civilization makes them to feel like, okay, if this thing is done to you, this thing you're doing to this person is done to you, how would you feel?
They are a product of evolution.
Then that makes them to rethink. All right? So things are changing. So now, Latin colonized French with a Latina-speaking person over a non-Latinas. Over time, they bastardized Latin. It became French. Same thing happened in Spain, the land of the rabbit. You can Google the etymology, meaning of the word Spain. Where does it come from? It means the land of rabbits. But those days, you have to come to my platform. It was very hot. When the Spanish, they will come here, send requests. In fact, they want my account to be blocked. That my 98,000 account that was blocked was very controversial. It was very controversial because you will see professor will come up. They will tell me, I say, I'm not a professor like you, but don't worry. Whatever I tell you, you will find it in history. Now, what you are saying, where can I find it? Tell me how many scholars agrees with what you are saying. And I can quote many scholars who agree with what I'm saying. Because that is proven. It's proven.
Papa, please let me speak. I want to ask you, where do you get your name, Papariano? Is it Italian? Is it Latin base? Is it Gurano or whatever?
I won't disclose that for now. You have to,
because you've been shutting me up. You have to answer me, Papa. Papariano.
Maybe on my birthday day. No.
You get one child will
Spaghetti.
be when change in the girl's name from, I don't know the girl's name, but Rihanna.
Is there anybody on this live stream who knew the previous name I was using before Papariano on this same account?
I swear, if the person answer, I'll give the person money gone. Money gone.
Papariano, I was speaking with one of my British friends recently, and then I was asking him that, do you know that, I was even just positioning this argument to him that, do you know that because the Brits feel like they want to foster their identity on others, hence the influx of whatever you are complaining now to. That is why you are complaining it. Because if I can't speak...
I can't hear you. I'm struggling to hear you, please. Just let me speak, please. I don't want to door to door people. It's very low. So, guys, skills. Spain was never Morocco, okay? Spain was conquered by the Moors. And that is that should be around after Islam. If Islam is 7th century, after Islam. So the Moors, the Africans who were converted into Islam, they conquered part of Spain, right? There was already Spanish language there. So they came in there, they conquered them, they were there, and later they were reconquered. They were chased out back.
Are you hear me now, Papariano?
I hear you.
I'm asking that if I can't speak the English language now, how do you think I will be in your country using the same resources that you are complaining is scarce for you? Because the British feel that they can foster